Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are reviewing the NECA Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classic Collection Wingnut and Screwloose figures that are available now exclusively at Target stores here in the US. And check out ToyHypeUSA.com for international availability. The front of the box, as you can see, has cartoon artwork featuring the characters Wingnut and Screwloose. And you also have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo in the center there. Very nicely done packaging. And it's also a window box, so it's consistent, as we've seen previously, through basically the entire run, especially the 2-packs. The top of the box gives you a couple of logos: Ninja Turtles, Nickelodeon, which you see right there. Side, you have Wingnut right there. And the other side, you have Screwloose. The back of the box gives you couple more images of the figures. Wingnut holding his blaster, Screwloose there. You also see a description, and you also see some additional characters that are also available, all of which we've reviewed. So if you haven't checked out those reviews yet, please do so on ToyHypeUSA.com as well as our YouTube channel. And of course, the bottom of the box has the names of all the great people at NECA Toys responsible for bringing these figures together. The figures are securely placed in a plastic tray for safekeeping. So you have Wingnut and Screwloose, the blaster right underneath Screwloose here. Behind them is the stand for Screwloose, and you have the interchangeable hands for Wingnut. And hidden on the bottom here are some nicely done little posters you can display. Here is your in-hand look at Wingnut and Screwloose. These figures are really phenomenal how they came out. They really nailed it as far as the sculpt and the deco. Interestingly enough, these characters only appeared in one episode in the entire series titled Zack and the Alien Invaders, and they were invaders from the planet Flagenon, hopefully I said that right, where they attempted to turn Earth's children into mindless zombies. So they fought the turtles and they were stopped, but they're definitely some of the more memorable ones. Wingnut is a mutated bat, and Screwloose is a mutated mosquito. Since they're aliens, obviously this is their species, but the official description of them is that they're mutated. So let's take a look at Wingnut. You see he's in his blue, his purple outfit there. Some beige. He has a... Oops. Doesn't like to stand up straight. He has a bat belt buckle, which you see right there. That's sculpted with a painted on face. The wings on him are metal, which look really cool. Let's raise this up a little bit. Nice shading and black deco throughout the figure here. The sides include pouches that do not open, so you can't store any accessories or anything inside. You also see little pouches on his legs here, which, let's get him to stand up right. These pouches here don't have any option for accessories, so he can't store anything inside. Here's a look at the back. So the back, you see his actual wings, and then they have these metal components making them bigger. These are probably shoot fire, allowing him to fly faster. A lot of great attention to detail here. I think they really nailed it. You see how the wings go through these loops here. That's very nicely done. And as far as articulation on the wings, these have a swivel joint right here, swivel hinge joint. The other side, you can see the bat wings here. Head sculpt, phenomenal likeness, really loving the attention to detail on him. Just take a moment to really appreciate all that great detail and painting going on here. On the teeth on this particular figure, there is a little bit of an oops, I'm going to say, at the factory here, right where my finger is pointing. When they were painting it, they weren't being careful enough, but that's okay. Little mistakes happen. I'm not going to be completely upset about that. The ears, very nicely done. Let's take a look at the back of the head, just so you guys can see. And of course, his back, you have this tiny little tail in the back. You have these spikes sticking out on the back of the lower legs and the feet there. And the feet. You have those long nails, which you see here. For Screwloose, he has a very distinct likeness, and they really captured him very nicely. Just look at those bright colors, that you remember from the classic cartoon. He is in his purple shirt with a green stomach, purple pants, white and black shoes. And the wings are light gray with a black line here. The only little thing on the wings is that this little mark was on them. I find that a little disappointing, but can live with it. Head sculpt, very nicely done. Nice long mosquito nose. And he also has this tail in the back, which is just a swivel joint, so you can move that around. He also has these little details on the back of his arms here that are light green, little scales or whatever you want to call them. As far as the articulation goes, it's basically been consistent throughout the line. Wingnut includes a ball-jointed head, ball-hinged shoulders, swivel-hinged elbows, swivel-hinged wrists, swivel-hinged wings, which you can see the joints right there in the back. Ball-jointed torso, so he has some mobility. Let me just demonstrate that. That's basically the amount of it. No swivel waist, in case you were wondering. Ball-jointed hips, hinged knees, hinged and rocker ankles. So he's fully articulated. You can move him around. You can swap out the hands, which we're going to take a look at. Screwloose, equally as impressive. Ball-jointed head, swivel-hinged elbows, swivel-hinged shoulders, swivel-hinged wrists, swivel-hinged wings, swivel tail, ball-jointed torso, and the range of motion on that is very minimal. You see me moving it just a tiny bit. That's the most it'll go. No swivel waist, ball-jointed hips, hinged knees, and hinged and rocker ankles. So you definitely have a lot of options to move around, stuff like that. Accessories wise, they come with a decent amount. First of all, Screwloose comes with a flying stand, which you see there. It's the standard NECA stand that we've seen sold individually, as well as offered with other figures and other brands throughout the years. Wingnut comes with 3 sets of interchangeable hands. The closed-fisted were in the sockets inside the packaging. There's an open grip, and then there's a more of an open hand. He also comes with a blaster, which is back here, but he also comes with these little posters, which you see right here. I decided to leave them in this little plastic baggie. But there's your look at that. You could take them out if you want, post them on the wall. That's what they're there for. Very nicely done. The artwork on this is amazing. Here's a look at the blaster that comes with Wingnut. This blaster has a lot of attention to detail and accuracy to the cartoon. You see up here where the scope is, and let's just raise this up a little bit. You see how the scope gives you a look through here for pinpoint accuracy as far as shooting, and you see all these great attention to details right here on the side. They really went all out and offered fans something special. And let's just take a look at the front, showing you, look at the barrel there. Here's a look at the other side. On this side, you don't have all that attention to detail and sculpting as the other one. This one's a bit more flat on this side. However, you do have a little bit of sculpting detail. And you see how the scope looks here. Very nicely done. They really did a nice job on this. With the blaster, you saw those open grip hands for him to hold it. These are more of the open hands for him to possibly grab another character, such as a turtle or Casey Jones or someone. These are great hands, very nicely done. Same attention to detail as the other two. Here's another look at the stand that comes with Screwloose. Again, this is just the same NECA stand as previously offered. You can raise it, you can lower it. And this is a very neat accessory. So to put them on, you would just want to open that up, put the body through, let's open that up a little bit more, close it, and there you go. You have Screwloose now in flight mode, which is pretty neat. And let's just put Wingnut next to him just for a scale. Giving you a look at that. So you guys remember that bag I didn't want to open earlier on in the video? Well, it turns out I opened it and it comes with 4 comic books that have pages on the back that look like that. It's pretty basic there, just squares with different colors. But the front of it has an individual comic as seen in the animated series. Interestingly enough, both Rocksteady and Bebop read comics, and I think the Turtles did too, at least in the 2012 cartoon. I don't remember the 1987 series if they did or didn't, because it's been a while since I've seen the series. But anyway, the comics are just paper, but with definitely some nice artwork on there. I think it's accurate to the cartoon, and definitely a great bonus. Here's a closer look at the comics. This one comes with 2 Bugman comics. I don't believe that was intentional. And here's a closer look at the poster, which is also very nicely done. On the back, there's just nothing there. But again, on each one of the comics, you have just basic artwork, such as squares and other shapes there. Here's a comparison of the 4 figures that are just released, including another look at Groundchuck and Dirtbag, along with Wingnut and Screwloose. Overall, very nicely done. Really loving the attention to detail and the decals on these, especially the likenesses. I really cannot stress enough just how great these look compared to how they appeared in the animated series. Wingnuts Blaster can be held in both hands, and for the front of it, I strongly recommend using that more open hand sculpt, not the open grip, just to get a grip on it, as there's really no option for that more open grip hand. Once it's in there, it stays in pretty well, but it is a little bit loose fitting, so I would just, once it's on there, not touch it because it could fall off. And here's a comparison with Casey Jones. Here's a closer look and a comparison, this time along with Splinter and Casey Jones. As you can see, Screwloose is just a tiny bit shorter than Splinter. Here's a comparison with 2 of my favorite turtle characters, Metal Man and Muckman. And I also put Joe Eyeball on the ground just so you can get a better look at the scale with Screwloose. Overall, Wingnut and Screwloose are fantastic. I think every Turtle fan should own these. These are great figures. For the first time, we really get true likenesses to the characters as appeared in the animated series. NECA continues to do a fantastic job, and I hope to see more characters like this in the future. I also want to add that Wingnut has double hinge joints, swivel hinge joints in his elbows. I think I said single hinge, but it's double earlier on in the video, so let me just correct myself. I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again to NECA Toys for providing this 2-pack along for review. Greatly appreciate that. Stay tuned for more coverage. We have more turtle reviews coming in the near future. And please check out the written portion and photo gallery on ToyHypeUSA.com. Thank you so much.